Wizards are looking to defeat their Eastern Conference rival going into this game. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Berry. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. For the Raptors, happy to be here in Toronto right now in the midst of a nice homestand. And, of course, Cole Anthony. They will definitely miss his contributions.
And as shocked as people are that they would trade away a player of his caliber, they didn't just let him go for nothing. I mean, they got a lot in return. I think it's a deal that's going to really help them down the road.
And so it's the Wizards getting on the board first. And the dunk by James.
Yeah, I'm not going to give LeBron any more space, but certainly like to see him dunk. How about that throwdown?
GA, when it comes to the Wizards, they have a pretty spotty draft record over the past decade.
Kevin, it's tough to get things right in the draft. Plus, they have just had poor lottery luck, only selecting higher than 8th once in the last decade. But they have passed on some superstar-level talent.
Oh, boy, to be young again.
Makes you nostalgic, doesn't it? Pass to Roy. To the middle. Tipped away. Stolen by Holiday. Here's Sharp. And then Sharp with the dunk.
And Sharp is the kind of guy who gets up there in a hurry. That elevator, that's got some extra juice.
And a wide open look for James. The three-pointer is right on target. LeBron's got his second basket of the night.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, right now I don't see any let up. Think he's going to just keep putting his foot on that gas pedal tonight.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
Yeah, a quick little lean like that is going to get the ref's attention. Foul called.
Now here's LeBron. 5 points in the game. Pass to DiVincenzo. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession.
You love the pressure he's putting on them. Almost had that steal.
Yeah, pestering right now, and that's going to pay some dividends. At some point, there's going to be a turnover.
And it's the Raptors' ball. James. Basket counts. LeBron's got 7 points in the game.
And LeBron's still a force inside. Size, athleticism, it's all still there.
Here's Sharp driving the lane.
Now that's some hang time. What a pretty double clutch move.
Agree, Greg. You can afford to get fancy on your way up when you've got that kind of space. Screen by James. And then Roy with the jam.
Man, Roy can fly.
Who got ball? Right here. Yo, kick it out.
Up top Sharp. 6 points for him.
Give me that.
And he finishes nicely on the layup. 8 points for him.
I mean, the stroke looks good. He's moving well out there. What a sensational start to this game. Perfect from the field.
Here's Roy. Right side Sabonis. Stolen by Lively. Now here's McDaniels. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. And it's Rizachet with the rebound.
You know, you'd love to see him pull that off, but instead he goes from highlight reel to the bloopers.
Here's James, and James throws it down hard.
Never get tired of LeBron James in the air doing wonderful things.
There aren't too many players with a skill set as diverse as Brandon Ingram's.
Yes, Kevin, you got to appreciate the tools that Brandon Ingram possesses. That comes with a lot of hard work. But this guy can score over smaller defenders. He's creative enough to draw contact against bigger guys and use that quickness. He's always been a scorer, but his playmaking ability over the past couple seasons, that's something that's growing and is giving them a chance to be very competitive.
Here's Sabonis following the bucket by the Wizards. And Lively pulls it down.
Well, he creates such a great opportunity right at the rim, and he just can't get it to go. Even with the defense not really a factor.
Outside Holiday. The kick out to Tatum. Fires from 18. Connects. The jumper drops.
Oh, good work from the mid-range there. Tatum likes taking that shot when he can create space.
Pass to Shea. Roy with it. Shoots over McDaniel. Rebounded by the Wizards.
Oh, can't punish the defense for leaving him open that time. That's a frustrating miss for a really steady jump shooter.
And it's Sharp missing. And here's James. He'll bring it up for the Raptors. They trail by 3. And the foul is called. The intention. Grabbed in there for some reason, I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part. Oh, big. Finish, emphatic.
He hangs on the rim just for good measure. Wow. Pass to McDaniels. A minute 42 left in the first. Lets the 3 fly, and the 3 ball is good.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Thank you, Kevin. Now, Darko Rajakovic had a few moments to share with me before. We got to talking about Jordan Poole and how you deal with a player like him. Coach smiled and said, we want to be as disruptive for him as possible. Anything we can do to prevent him from getting into a rhythm, we'll do it. Keeping Poole off balance is the plan here. Guys?
Thank you, David. And slam dunk by Tatum.
And the defense hates to see it. Tatum putting on a little bit of a show with that jam.
Roy. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
The Raptors shooting their first free throw of the game.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
Now here is Carter. Still yet to score. Out to the right wing. 4 on the shot clock. Here's McCain. Off target with his 3. Raptors trailed by 3.
Ouch. 3 fouls for him already. And now if you're the coach, you got to think about sitting him down.
The Raptors have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line. And the first one at the line is good.
The feel LeBron has for the game, unreal. Whatever situation he finds himself in, he always seems to have an answer.
The kick out to Holiday. From past the arc. And Valanciunas pulls it down. James right side. No good from Valanciunas. And so it's Shaedon Sharpe making highlights for the Washington Wizards. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. We've got more in store for you. some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Wizards?
Well, the coaches preach ball movement, and we saw exactly why in that first quarter.
Well, everybody just feeling the energy of the basketball as they moved it around, and lots of hands were touching it.
The Wizards with the lead. And it's Toronto with the rebound. They host the 76ers after this game, and that game closes out the 4-game homestand for them. Double team Sabonis. Pass to Carrington. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. It's Jackson with the drive. Reza Shea with the steal. Pushing it up. Here's Sabonis. Basket is good. The assist from Barnes. Sabonis has got it all tied up now for Toronto. And it's Washington's ball. To the inside. Back to Sharp. Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. Pass to Carter. And then Carter with the dunk.
Well, they're trying to take command of this game, but it's been competitive so far.
Yeah, everybody trying to get away from one another, and the threads are keeping them close. This has been highly competitive.
Reza Shea with it. No good with the triple. And the defense of this Raptors team, Craig, they are built to switch.
And it's no accident with their roster construction. They like having wings that can guard all 5 positions, makes defending a much easier prospect.
And he's going to get whistled for that foul, GA. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
So it's the Wizards now. Only giving up 2 points this quarter. Back to Whitmore. Clock at 6. And Whitmore throws it down.
Oh, man, when Cam Whitmore throws it down, you feel bad for the rim.
Here's Sabonis. Washington with the rebound.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Pass to Sharp. Now Whitmore. And the 3 off target.
The D really getting away with one there. No one on him, and that's going to be good 9 out of 10 times.
Dick in the corner. Here's Reza Shea. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
McCain's shot is off. And so it's Sabonis who brings up the ball for the Toronto Raptors. Trailing by 2. Pass to Carrington. Fires for 3. Drills it from outside. Carrington's got the lead up to 1 now for Toronto. Guys, what a tight start to the game this has been.
And it's still in the first half. This could be a wild one.
And Whitmore, a beast inside because of his power and ability to elevate.
Over to the wing. Now, Reza Shea. That one, no good. Whitmore with it. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Here's McCain. Trains the three-pointer. And it's a 4-point Wizards lead. We know the 90s were a different era, Greg. Either win the game or win the fight. Remember that? Do you miss that physicality?
Well, I will say, Kevin, it made for some great stories, but I don't think we're missing much without all the extracurriculars, and I think we have a beautiful game now.
And here's Sharp. He's got 10.
Set up, set up.
For the three. And again, Washington with the triple.
What a performance on the offensive end. He's making the defenders pay right now for all of the mistakes they're making.
And the timeout called by Darko Rojakovic. Looking for a breather and maybe just one or two things to talk about. Raptors trail by 7. LeBron James on the wing. He's got 10. In the corner, it's DiVincenzo. And the Raptors miss again.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
Left side, Tatum. Holiday surveying the floor. LeBron grabs the miss. Pass to DiVincenzo. And the foul on Drew Holiday. That is his first foul of the game. 1:27 left to play in the first half. Williams with a clean look.
Not much success from beyond the arc for him here. They should look to work it inside a little bit more and get some easy looks in the paint.
Toronto trailing. Knocked away. And stolen by Whitmore. And here's Tatum for 3. Buries the long-range jumper. Tatum's got 9. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Wizards.
Right off the bat, they're going after the ball, looking to jump into the passing lanes and create some steals in transition.
And they've sort of assumed control of this game with their pressure defensively. They've been into the ball handler. They've done a great job of swarming. So they're creating some turnovers that they're capitalizing on.
And made possible by a heads-up play defensively at the other end.
Outside Holiday. Back to Lively. And finished off by Lively.
That play happens because of the solid pass from Holiday.
Raptors trail by 8. LeBron James on the wing. He's got 14. The shot's good from Roy.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, the coach over there just asking for one simple thing, and that's some effort. Got burned on that one.
Outside Tatum. They set the pick. Launches it from deep. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Wizards lead by 5. We've got more hoops coming your way in just a moment. We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. I tell you what, Brent, this Jordan Poole is one confident player.
Yeah, his mindset, though, Kevin, has to shift to being more consistent. So we've seen these outbursts in scoring from Jordan Poole, but really you want to have a more reliable player in what he does both offensively and defensively. Hopefully he finds that.
Pass to Lively. Tries again. Back to McDaniels. Sabonis with the steal. And Roy with a clear path to the hoop.
Run any chance that you can get. Great theft and first pass from Sabonis.
And the way the Wizards like to play, Greg, you can expect them to get out and run.
Yeah, they're young and they can fly, right? They've got speed and athleticism to get up and down the floor. They'll push the tempo as much as you allow them.
So timeout called here, the first for the Wizards.
One shot. One shot.
And you have to appreciate the work ethic that Roy has. A true gym rat. And this guy just wants to get better.
Here's Holiday. Hasn't made one yet. DiVincenzo with the rebound. And so James will bring it up for Toronto. A 2-point game. Oh, the athletic move by LeBron James.
And another great performance here from LeBron on the offensive end. Man, that is the norm.
Here's Sharp. Cans the 12-footer. Sharp's got 15.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
Yeah, and the coach pretty smart for zoning in on him and giving him opportunities to stay with that confident play.
And he makes that one. Sabonis has got the game tied up here for Toronto.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Holiday with it. He's picked up by Reza Shea. The shot by McDaniels, no good.
The third quarter has not started well, just 1 of 4.
Sabonis, no good.
And even though he didn't get a piece of that shot, you love the pressure he puts on the shooter.
Yeah, that's the kind of energy that you want to see on every possession throughout the game.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
A willingness to get physical. Roy takes the hit and still gets off the shot.
Roy hits them both. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Outside Holiday. Pass to Tatum. And Tatum driving. And James pulls it down. Raptors with the lead. And Roy, here we go. Second shot opportunity. In the corner, it's DiVincenzo. Yes, it's James picking up the assist. DiVincenzo's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Here's Holiday. Lays it up and banks it in.
Drew's got such a great build, 205, 210 pounds, a bigger guard. Hard to knock him off of his shot.
Here's James. And Tatum pulls it down. Wizards trail by 3. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
The turnover total in the first half, only one, but a totally different story here in the second. A crazy athlete. Roy excels in the open floor.
Here's Holiday. Good D by Roy.
And another miss. Oof, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. And that's an intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
And he gets the bucket. Reza Shay's got the lead up to 7 now for the Raptors.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. And Washington making a change here. We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Holiday attacking. Lively. And finished off by Lively.
Not getting old here, seeing him make that lead pass with perfect timing.
And Darko Rajakovic calls timeout. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. And the timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over. Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
It's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
And the Raptors with possession. They're on a 16-6 run. James on the drive. Uses the glass to finish the layup. LeBron's got 4 this quarter.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
And while the offense is developing, Alex Sarr is already a huge presence at the defensive end.
Yeah, along with being a great rim protector, he's a 7-footer who can really slide his feet on the perimeter. He can switch on the guards and make them work for their opportunities.
Look at that.
Yes, sir. What a slash there from Sharp. So difficult to stop.
Toronto leading by 5. LeBron outside. Pass to Roy. Screen by James. Stolen by Tatum. And here we go. Washington fast break. Shoots the 3. Toronto grabs the miss. The drive by James. Oh, went in there and tried to power it down, but drew contact He'll head to the line. That's on Jaden McDaniels. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Raptors.
They're doing damage from the mid-range. Not sure if that was the game plan or if they're just taking what the defense gives them. But thus far, it's paying off.
You also have to admire the way they've gotten out and run in transition. And they've run wide, they've run their lanes, they've been doing it with a great pace. And that's produced some easy scores.
Back to Lively. 6 to shoot. Here's Sharp. No good on that one. Nice D from Sabonis. Right wing. Back to Roy. Floats it up for James.
LeBron is just dominating right now, aware of the defense, and has not feared one since he came into the league.
And he's going to get whistled for that foul, GA. That was intentional, but
Time out.
exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. And Washington making a change here. Wizards trail by 8. Now Whitmore. Over in the corner, McDaniels gets to the corner and buries it. McDaniels got his second bucket of the night.
I just don't think they want him taking that kind of shot. Again, his teammates are just laughing, shaking their heads there on the bench.
Here's Dick. Banked in off the glass. Dick's got the lead up to 8 now for Toronto.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Holiday gets the bucket.
That's a beautiful shot there for Drew. Defenses have to account for Drew Holiday out there behind the arc.
There's 42 seconds left here in the third quarter. Good.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
It's Whitmore, top of the key. Outside Holiday. Down low. And then Carter with the dunk.
Basket's good.
Yeah, that's just a strong take by Wendell Carter Jr. playing with some fire tonight.
And he'll be shooting his first free throw of the game here. That's good from Carter. 23 seconds left in the third quarter. Dick with it. Inside. Stolen by Carter. Here's Whitmore. With 2 seconds left. Here's McDaniels. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. The points coming in bunches as we wrap up the third quarter. It's been a good one. Toronto ahead. Up. Well, what a terrific game it's been so far, with this fourth quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. And Darko Rajakovic calls timeout. Clearly, he's got something his players need to hear, and immediately. With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Start it.
Thanks, guys. During the last break, listened in on Darko Rajakovic talking to his team. He demanded something of his guys. He said, I'm not satisfied yet. Are you? You've worked hard, but we need to keep piling it on. Don't give them any hope. Guys?
Thank you, David. Pass to Tatum. Wizards passing it around.
I got him.
Here's Sharp. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to go on Sabonis.
Well, so far, you're liking the flashes that Sharp has been able to show you at this level.
The free throw drops for Sharp. Brent Coulibaly got a lot of minutes last season, and it's paid off.
Well, Kevin, I think this guy is hungry. I think he's hungry to prove that he can be an elite wing player in the league. His work ethic is top-notch, and this guy, if he goes at it defensively, can be on those all-defensive teams by the time his career is done.
A monster down low. LeBron James, the rare package of skill, size, and athleticism.
And he's good on the three ball.
And won't find many more games as entertaining as this one.
No, this is about as high octane a game as you're going to find.
Pass to Sabonis. Now LeBron, guarded by Tatum. And the call will be against Derek Lively. That's his first foul.
Come get it.
LeBron outside. 5 on the clock. Again, Toronto.
In the mid-range, rarely the hallmark of efficiency in today's NBA, but it is on point tonight.
To the paint. Here's Tatum. And slam dunk by Tatum.
And credit the screen for giving him the space he needed to get to the rim.
For sure, GA allows him to come in with the sledgehammer.
Yeah, why settle for the layup when you can attack the rim and rise up like that?
Good on the three-point shot.
He just makes scoring look so effortless. It's why you love watching Roy play the game.
Outside Holiday. Sabonis grabs the board. And here's Toronto. They've outscored him 10 points to 2 during this run. The shot. No good. Great D that time from Tatum.
Not great numbers, but great effort in this one. Sounds funny, but I think he's been a positive for them.
Now, here's Sharp. Pass to Lively. The kick out to Holiday. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down.
Just a little bit off in the first, but he's been anything but that here in the second quarter. Really impressive to see him turn it around like that.
Roy from outside, and Lively pulls it down.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Back to Sharp. Lively with the screen. And it's Sharp missing. Toronto leading by 8. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
The kick out to Sabonis. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. Sabonis has got the lead up to 10 now for the Raptors.
Who got ball?
Holiday left side. Inside, Sharp. And then Sharp with the dunk.
Such a ridiculous athlete. Sharp is overwhelming them tonight. When Shaden is playing with this kind of confidence, there's not much you can do.
Oh, LeBron's just too strong inside.
I mean, already hot coming into the game. Is it fair to say he's hotter?
And it's Sharp missing. And it's the Raptors' ball. They're on a 14-6 run. Here's Sabonis. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. And it's a 12-point Raptor lead.
You got to get all over Sabonis. Any kind of crack down there, he's going to find it and find a way to score.
Pass to Lively. Over in the corner, McDaniels. Lively with the screen. Takes a big high bounce and goes in.
Such a critical part of how their offense is going to flow. Things are only working when he seems to be on the floor.
And Brandon Roy with the slam. And the Raptors lead by 12.
Whoa. The solo alley-oop? That's not something we see too often.
Timed perfectly. Caught the defense totally off guard.
That's just a lapse right there. No matter what, somebody has to be there and get a hand up in the shooter's face.
There's 1:59 left in the fourth. Back to Lively. And finished off by Lively.
Love the selflessness. Tatum willing to give it up whenever he sees an open teammate.
From deep, James. Whoa! James showing the range.
He's just stretching him out. The defense has got to do a better job of staying attached to him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the defense collectively was thinking there. You got to know where he is at all times.
Lively. Great D that time from James. On the wing, DiVincenzo. The rebound by the Wizards. And here is McDaniels. Pass to Holiday. McDaniels with the ball. Outside Tatum. The three. And Sabonis pulls it down. Guys, you've got to think a basket here would seal it.
No question. That would be all she wrote.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces, as it appears it'll be a nice win here for Toronto.
And they had to battle for this win. There were times when it looked like it was maybe slipping away a bit, but they never let that happen, which I thought was a real credit to them.
And that's a product of their mental toughness. Anytime the floor of the game turned against them, instead of caving, they just dialed it up a notch and were able to pull away.
And now on the year, this will take them to 28 wins.
And once they polish off this win, they'll be one more victory away from sweeping the season series.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for LeBron.
Now, this was a showcase night of his skills offensively.
And so Toronto takes this one, but by a
about the whole